Do you ever get anxious or get a panic attack and it just feels like you can't breathe, you can't catch your breath, and it's just such a struggle? You might pass out because you're not getting enough air? Well, if that's the case, today's video is specifically for you, so stay tuned. So this is a question I get a lot from people that are reaching out saying, Lucas, I just can't breathe when I'm in this panic state. It's hard, it gets really choppy, and it feels like I'm not getting enough air. Now, this is such a common situation, and today we're gonna go over one breathing technique. So I've been answering questions in the comments below from people asking me saying, what can I do? And I'm always talking about diaphragm breathing, right? Check your breathing, focus on your breathing, and I've been getting questions like, what is diaphragm breathing? Okay, so we're gonna put that to the side. I'm gonna show you exactly what you can do to reduce panic attacks and feeling anxious with breathing. Now, why this is so important? Now, I wanna bring one thing in. Have you ever heard somebody say that I was so stressed out, I was feeling anxious, so I had a cigarette, right? And then they feel calmer. Now, when we look at it, a cigarette is loaded with chemicals, stimulants, and a whole bunch of other stuff that's not good for you, yet people feel calmer when they start breathing a cigarette. So this is just showing how important it is to diaphragm breathe, because when people are smoking cigarettes, how are they breathing? Right? They're breathing from their diaphragm. It's slow, right? Slow inhale and slow exhale. So it's really not the cigarette that's helping you out. It's controlling your breathing. It's slowing it down. And it's the same thing with yoga. You go to yoga, people feel so calm. I love yoga. And you go there, but really a big benefit of it is that it's just an hour and a half of you focusing on proper breathing techniques. So that's what you're gonna get today from this video. Now, why this is important? It's gonna cause you so you don't have to go have a cigarette. You can do this naturally and cut out all those chemicals. So it's a big benefit. So specifically, what are we talking about here? Well, let's look at it from a standpoint of two examples. So just place one hand up here on your chest and one on your lower abdomen. Now, what you're gonna notice is that when people are struggling, when they're feeling anxious or they're getting into that panic state, they start breathing deeply from their chest, where it's like, right? It's choppy, shallow breathing, right? Over inhaling, it's hard to breathe. Now that's up here, right? That's why it feels like your chest is closing in and you can't breathe. But let's switch to the other side. If you were breathing from your diaphragm with slow inhales, right? And slow exhales, that's gonna lead to controlled breathing. Now, what we're looking at is the two sides, right? It's the parasympathetic system, which is the rest and digest system, and we have the sympathetic, which is the fight or flight. Now, when you're in a panic attack, it's full on fight or flight. It's going, right, dumping that adrenaline, getting you ready to survive because it feels like you're gonna die. But we wanna activate this other side, which is the parasympathetic. Now, how do we do so? Quickest way, diaphragm breathing. So what are we gonna do? There's a couple rules to this. I mean, there's no right or wrong way. If you're doing diaphragm breathing, it's gonna be good, but let's just follow this technique just to make it simple. So the keys to this: one, you're gonna inhale, right, through your nose, do it like a 4 count, pause for a second, and then exhale through your mouth. 4 count, pause, inhale through your nose, pause, and then exhale out your mouth. Pause. So if you do this simple technique, do this for 2-3 minutes. It doesn't take a long time. Literally, 2 or 3 minutes is gonna help you reduce stress levels. It's gonna activate that parasympathetic. And the big kicker is, do this if you're feeling anxious or you feel a panic attack is coming up. Why? Because it's impossible to have a panic attack if you're breathing from your diaphragm, because you've activated the parasympathetic nervous system. So if you are using diaphragm breathing and you're in a calm, relaxed state, you're not gonna have a panic attack. So just taking this one element puts so much control back in your corner. So you're feeling anxious, you're feeling stressed, do some diaphragm breathing, check in with yourself. The other thing too, watch your shoulders, right? Pull your shoulders down and back, release some tension in your body, get the diaphragm breathing, you will feel amazing. And a key to this, do it 2 minutes before bed, maybe 2 minutes first thing in the morning, and whenever you are feeling anxious or you feel a panic attack coming up, do this, and this will go wonderful for you because it's gonna put the control back in your corner. So, diaphragm breathing, make it happen, and as always, subscribe to this channel to get the latest videos and put your comments and questions down below.